It's November the 20th of 2020, and there's lots of news just now about a COVID vaccine, the COVID virus that's attacking everyone just now. There's a potential vaccine coming out the next 2 weeks, at least in America. There's a few different forms of the vaccine that are coming out. There's some from Germany, some from America, some from Britain that attack the virus in different ways. They're all having reports of between 90-95% effectiveness, or at least that amount of effectiveness on healthy people. I don't know if the trials have actually done anything on people with underlying health conditions or already infected or asymptomatic people as well. So there's a lot of kind of like, hey, we've got great results, we're going to start pumping out loads of this vaccine for you all to use. And I'm a big fan of inoculations, of vaccinations. I feel like vaccinated all our children against everything we can, even chickenpox. And but I'm not planning on being first in line for getting any of the different forms of the COVID-19 vaccination coming forward. I'm sure the research is great, and I'm sure if I took it, I would probably be one of the people that's in the healthy category that probably wouldn't have any side effects. I'm just not a huge fan of being one of the real life guinea pigs of this being rolled out around the world. One of the reasons for that being the fact that a normal vaccination, a normal vaccine, the process is sometimes around about 10 years. And yet these different vaccines for COVID-19 are coming out in just 10 months. So a timescale of 10 years, maybe that's always far too slow, but 10 months also seems far too fast. And the preliminary data sounds great. However, it is very much just it's just an initial data. I said that word a minute ago. Preliminary. Don't know. The initial data does just seem like the very initial data. Additionally, one of the other things is actually the transport of the vaccine seems to be there may be a bit of a learning curve going on there as well. One of the vaccines that's come out said it needs to be stored and transported at minus 80 or 70 degrees Celsius, which, as I'm sure you're aware, is very, very cold. And apart from the science of the vaccine, of the DNA of the actual vaccines that they're using, I suspect there's going to be a big learning curve of the distributors and the people actually injecting people with the vaccine before it can be done right. So doing it under laboratory conditions, how that translates to real world mass production, mass vaccination, I'm not 100% sure. So certainly I feel the first round of vaccinations that are going out, there's going to be a lot of learning getting done by everyone. It's not like the flu shot. Like the flu shot, you can literally go have companies come into your office, squirt a thing up your nose, or quickly inject you in the arm with different strains of the flu, and boom, that's it sorted. We know how to do that. These viruses, on the other hand, or these vaccines, on the other hand, they're possibly in a different way. So I'm again, obviously, I'm not in the know of how it's all done, but I'm just not keen to be definitely not in round one, which I suppose at the same time is a little bit dangerous for the world. For these vaccines to really have an effect, you've got to be vaccinating a large proportion of the population, and it's not just me. It seems like there are huge amounts of people that are very suspicious of the vaccine. There are some complete mentalists that think that the vaccine is fake and that it's actually trying to put in GPS tracking device, mind control, nanobots into our system that Bill Gates can then control everyone. There's just like absolute craziness going on out there. Yeah, let's not be silly, people. But at the same time, I do think that there is a case of the science in the vaccine has been done very fast. The results have been concluded very fast from fairly small populations of people either getting the virus or not getting the virus. And the actual distribution and getting into people, I think there's going to be a huge learning curve, which I just fear that looking back at this in 5 years' time, there'll be a news story saying, oh, the first people that got the vaccine, it was actually stored at minus 65 degrees Celsius, and that made the virus mutate and blah, blah, blah. You just kind of go, oh, if only we saw that happening beforehand. I would rather be in round 2 or round 3 of the vaccine rollout rather than definitely round 1, which again, for people who are frontline service people, doctors, nurses, healthcare workers, they're first in line to get the vaccination. And again, if it's the flu vaccination, absolutely fantastic. This vaccination, I'm not 100% sure about it at the moment. So I'd rather be waiting a year, see how it's been rolled out, see how the first mass rollout results have come in, seen where the mistakes have been made before I then offer up my arm for getting injected of the virus. That's for sure. So yeah, what's your thoughts on it? I definitely don't think anybody should be legitimately thinking about mind control nanobots inside the virus or inside the vaccine from Bill Gates, because that's just nonsense.